And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
What's up, guys? We're back in business.
Yes, we are, and we got another full slate. We're going to talk some title boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Lightweight, belt on the line.
Ding, ding.
Yeah, we're talking about on the line, belts on the line. NBA conference finals.
Of course.
And we gotta keep the heat with the USFL heading into week 7.
Mike Riley rolling, baby.
Dude, it's like the little league that could.
The little league that could. Let's go. Yes, sir.
So, there's some intriguing lines there, but let's get right into it with this boxing match. It's going to take place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Quite the setting.
Yeah.
We got Rolando Romero versus Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis. And this is a crazy line.
Yes, it is.
And I think
it's crazy.
We're not seeing a lot of action. I think a lot of it has to do with that minus 900 Tank Davis being the favorite.
And I think he even opened up a little bit worse odds than that, minus 1,000, minus 1,500 kind of stuff. But the proof is in the pudding with this guy. This guy is won 24 of his 26 fights by stoppage, which means he knocked the guy out. Tank is regarded as one of the most ferocious and heavy punchers, in the lightweight division, if not in the whole realm of boxing.
He looks it.
It's absolutely crazy. The only thing that kind of, goes into the side of this, Andy, is that Romero is undefeated as well.
Yeah, 26-0?
Davis is 26-0. I think Romero is like 14-0 or something like that. I mean,
no slouch.
No slouch to the imagination, but this Davis is just a freaking juggernaut. Mm-hmm. They call him Tank for a reason, I guess. But he's been given a 91.3% chance.
I saw that.
To win. And Davis has yet to lose in his career, sporting, like we said, at 26-0. I just don't see this going the other way, even with this guy's, Romero's, undefeated streak going on. 30%.
It's like Romero's the last man standing, and now it's his turn to take his medicine.
Yeah, it's time for you. You've tiptoed around it as long as you can, and now you can't sport that 13-0 or 14-0 badge anymore. It's time to get your medicine and put that one in the other column. So what we're kind of saying, guys, right now is odds makers are kind of, dead in the water right now until a couple days out. They're going to start releasing some really fun prop bets that I really think that I can get you guys on that will make you some money. The first one that you're going to want to look at overall is just Davis to win by KO or TKO. A lot of those are sitting at 2-7 odds right now, which means for every $2 you spend, you'll win 7, which that's a pretty good payout or whatever. But the way you make a lot of money in these kind of things is if you start picking individual rounds where Davis could win at. And I've been looking, around line and, following a lot of guys that, know boxing quite a bit. And they are staggering. All of them are right in the same range of that Davis will knock this guy out in the rounds 5 to 8.
Okay.
So if you guys really want to get some, crazy bets in or, kind of, play some money here, play some money there kind of things, what everybody is trying to do is place those bets within the TKO happening in rounds 5 through 8. And those, you'll see those odds shoot way up once you pick an individual round.
And there'll be some late money that floods in Friday nights throughout Saturday into Saturday night. And this is obviously a pay-per-view showtime, 9 p.m. Eastern time slot. You are going to see a lot of movement on some of those different type of, I guess, prop bets, if you want to call it that. But I I'm always looking for the value. I kind of like Romero at that plus 500.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to get wild with that. I'm not going to get crazy with that.
No, sprinkle a little bit on it. I mean, everybody has a puncher's chance, but
you can hedge
just
your bets
with
a little
this
bit
guy
here.
being able to do what he's done over the past 26 fights is I've never seen it.
I mean, all these articles are like, well, I hope Romero can keep it competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's getting into this one twisted.
Right. Romero is unexposed at championship level, and he could come out and just freeze on the biggest stage,
Right.
He's never been in a fight like this, although I don't necessarily see him coming out and freezing and underperforming in that sense. Davis will show that there are levels to boxing Saturday night, and he's supremely confident. He always is, and the job will get done.
Well, there's a couple things going on though with Tank right now, and they could either work for him or against him, or somewhere in the gray area there. And that's that he's at odds with his promotion company, Merriweather Promotions.
Right.
He's already come out and said in a colorful fashion.
We'll say it that.
This is his last fight with Merriweather Promotions, period. Like he wants to get out from that shadow. He doesn't think they're promoting him correctly.
Right.
That he's not getting the big ticket fights. He's not fighting for what he's worth. So there is some thought that maybe he's, like the Rocky movies. He's lost. He's not keeping his eye on the prize.
Exactly.
He's jawing a lot. He's talking about what he should have, not what he does have. So maybe, he's a huge favorite here. Everyone's telling him he's going to win by a lot.
Yeah.
This is a spot where that plus 500, Rolando Romero, Raleigh, sneak up on a guy. I mean, he's won by KO as well.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, no, they're both heavy punchers. It's just, we've seen this in the past, though, with these promoters, Andy. I mean, even our guy, Terrence Crawford, we don't think he's been getting the, right shake of the jib for the last, 5-6 fights of his career. And, he came out last time and said this is his last, with that promotion. Yeah. I don't get how that those promoters don't treat those guys, because how can you let somebody like a Tank Davis or a Terrence Crawford walk?
Right.
Give the guy what he wants.
I know.
And keep him on your TV station. You got to pay these guys because they're going to get the money somewhere else. You're not going to tell me that the light heavyweight champion of the world isn't going to take his promotion to anywhere else, and they're not going to sign him. They're going to sign
talking
him.
To Bud.
Exactly. Yeah. Bud Crawford's is like, okay, if you're not going to make the fight that's right for me and what's right for the money
and the fans,
and for the fans, everybody's wanting to see Spence versus Crawford for like 5 years
or longer.
Yeah, or longer. And this guy's just being able to. He's just been able to talk. He's just been able to duck him because these promotions can't get along.
Right.
Let the fans see what they want. There's a reason that the UFC is so much more popular than boxing right now, because Dana knows what the people want, and he gives it to them in loads. Every month he gives it to them.
Well, and he's in a spot right now where, he's got a couple, return fights,
of course,
rubber matches. I mean, just lined up that he can pick and choose from.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we don't want to get him too close. Like he's got a surplus.
Yeah, he's got a surplus of fights that people want to see, and they're all on the line at any time for him to pick.
Yeah,
and he can do that by himself. Like he doesn't have to go ask the commission of Georgia or whatever if this is okay.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
These are what people want to see. It's just like we were just talking about last time about Cowboy and Joe Lazuna.
Yeah, get him in.
Nobody cares if it's for a belt. Nobody cares whatever it is. These are two fan favorites that want to go at it.
Yeah.
Now, with talking with all these fights in boxing, all these big fights are for big money, big belts. Everything's on the line at all times. I don't see what the problem is with the promotion.
Yeah, and with Bud, that was just unbelievable that you have this. Everyone knows where this collision course is going with Spence.
Exactly.
And Bud Crawford, and neither side wanted to have that fight. They wanted to keep their guy as the undisputed champ. It's like, no, that's not the game here.
That's not undisputed.
And and with Bud, signing that top rank, under ESPN's umbrella, that's not their gig. That's on down the list.
Right.
And I think ESPN kind of views that as a flop.
Yeah,
and so it was not getting the love. It was not getting what it needed.
Yeah.
The support on the back end or the front end. So Bud's like, I'm out. Catch you later. And obviously Tank feels the same way here with how he's being treated by Merriweather Promotions.
Exactly.
And Money Man, Floyd Mayweather's thinking, hey man, I made a career of dodging the main fights. And then when the guy turns 50, you just knock his block off.
Then you knock him out or hide from him the whole fight.
Yeah, just dance around. You just dance around. Are you quicker? Oh, you're not?
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, we can call you out, Mayweather. We don't care.
We can still dodge. We can still dodge the fight.
Exactly. We can still dodge it. It's my promotion.
Yeah, it's my promotion.
No,
that's what I made a career out of dodging fights.
Yeah, sorry, we kind of got off on a tangent there, but that's something that I feel very passionate about with just the sport of boxing. We grew up loving boxing. Yeah. Andy, we would always order the Tyson fights, the Evander Holyfield, all that kind of stuff.
Was that his ear? Did he bite his ear?
Exactly. Butterbean was always one of our favorites. Coming from the Midwest and all that kind of stuff. So it really just ekes me because they used to give us those big fights.
Yeah, Trinidad, all those guys,
Lennox Lewis, all those guys. All of them used to be. That used to be the fight.
You knew what was coming.
Now we have to wait. Once a year we might get a Fury or a Crawford fight.
Right.
Once a year.
And on top of that, a lot of them, it's after they're out of their prime.
Exactly.
Like, we want to see these guys when they're 27, 28 years old, not when they're 45, 43.
Exactly. We don't need to see Manny Pacquiao when he's 52 years old fighting Bud Crawford. That's not a fun fight for anybody, especially for Manny Pacquiao.
And it still draws. They still get the pay-per-view, so it shows you boxing. You still got it.
You still got it, and people will pay for it. Yeah, and people will pay for it. But you're running out your welcome real quick. Mm-hmm. You are, and sorry to get on a tangent, but that really irks me.
Okay, so getting back to this line here, Davis at the minus 900, Romero at plus 500. Obviously, a heavy favorite with Tank. You're saying sit on this one until it gets a little closer to fight night.
Exactly. There seems to be some bad blood boiling between the pair as well. Not only his promotion, but between the pair, with Romero claiming that he'll wipe the champion out with inside of a round. Meanwhile, Tank, being his usual brash self, is confident that he's going to finish Raleigh. With ease and can end the fight pretty much when he pleases. So
he's a big dude.
The whole thing with, I don't think Tank is overlooking this guy. Mm-hmm. And with Romero saying these, kind of brash things about that he's going to, unseat the champion in the first round, that kind of gets a guy pissed off. So if I'm really throwing some money down on this, guys, I am looking at Tank Davis to win in round 5 or 6. Okay. I'm probably going to go 6, but those are my 2 rounds that I'm locking in on, and you can take that to the bank.
There's your lock, folks. Lock it up.
I just like those 2 rounds. I think that Romero's going to be able to kind of dodge them and get around them until then, but the dinner bell comes ringing no matter what.
The hammer's going to get dropped after that. And history's on your side. That's when a lot of those KOs happen for Davis inside the ring, and history's also on your side. He's 26-0.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, if you guys kind of scared locking into one round or whatever, there's always prop bets to win within round 5 through 8. And
there's live betting too.
There's live betting
on your
as
book,
well.
Follow it.
And like I said, the safe bet of all safe bets is Tank Davis to win by KO or TKO at any time. So nice. No matter what, throw some money on that one because that is going to hit, in my opinion, and that's where I'm going with it.
All right, showtime, pay-per-view, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it, folks. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, remind everyone this episode is brought to you by Nebraska Brewing Company. First class in every glass.
Yes, sir.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. This is WTL. And welcome back to WTL, everybody. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we talked some title weight, some lightweight boxing.
Yep.
Now we got to talk, some conference final NBA. Things are winding down.
Some heavyweight fights in the NBA here.
Getting hot. Some heat being applied.
Some heat. some Irish heat. Luck. Yeah.
And what a wild series. I mean, this one's been everything we kind of thought it might be.
Of course, yeah. And it's
back and forth, and really kind of hard to pin down, Mm-hmm. A lot of blowouts, and they don't make any sense. They'll blow them out on the road, or they'll blow them out at home. It's there's no way to really track these other than these are 2 really, really well-matched teams, and it's probably going to go 7, like we talked about last week. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that, and everything's adding up to that with these road teams winning both ways. Yeah. The blowouts, I mean, that's very frustrating. It's not only frustrating for the betting man,
right?
It's frustrating for these books
because
it gets out of hand one way or the other. There's just too much sitting on one side.
Exactly. And then it kind of frustrates the better going forward to not take an over/under in the next game in the series because they don't really know which way to go with it. At least if it's a good game, the bettors are going to be swaying each way. If it's going to be a blowout, it's hard to do that.
Yeah, this last blowout, 102-82, with a Heat win, the over/under was at 205 on most books.
Exactly.
And it under.
And I got burned on it. I will say that. I got burned on it. The Heat burned me.
The Heat burned, yes. Imagine that. Well, the 3 overs did hit, though.
Yeah.
At 203, 206, 207.5 consensus. Then 205, just not even close with that 82 burger.
It was really just Miami.
82.
Yeah.
Yeah. A conference final team only scored 82 points.
Yeah, the Miami Heat literally came out in the first quarter and only scored 11 points to Boston's 30. That's going to put you in a bad mood. That's going to put you in not a very good rhym. And you can't recover from that, especially because Boston's such a defensive team. Once they get up on you, they're not going to be letting you in from a 20-point deficit.
Now, what's the latest out of Boston with all these injuries? Because everybody has their thoughts and their mindset, and I'm hearing a lot of people saying, "Let Marcus Smart sit, let him get good before you want to." I mean, you want to play him here in Game 5, so be it. But a lot of folks are saying, "Let him heal up, let him get right, and try and defend home court and get this, and get to the finals." Don't worry about the next game. Worry about the game after that. And I got mixed emotions on that.
I do have mixed emotions on it just because I've been always that kind of guy. If you can play, get him in there. Especially with a guy like Marcus Smart because he wants to be out there.
Right.
He is a gritty guy. He's the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
He wants to be out there. He wants to help his team. But does his play style help him more in Miami or does it help him more in Boston? I really think the crowd gets behind him in Boston. Yeah. I think he plays a lot better at home. I think that Boston could almost squeak this game out on the road without him.
Right.
They definitely have a chance without him, but I think I would go on the side of caution here and sit Smart for Game 5 on Wednesday and make sure that he's good to go for Friday's game in the Garden.
Yeah, I don't like sitting a guy if he's available either.
Right.
But also look at the injury report for Miami.
Yeah.
Hero, he's questionable with the groin injury. Kyle Lowry still that nagging hamstring. So if those two guards aren't going to play, Marcus
What's
Smart.
The point?
Yeah, let Marcus Smart sit.
Yeah.
And get him for home.
No, I agree. And we're going to talk about Friday's game here that's back in Boston just because, Wednesday's game is probably going to, be airing right around the time we get this out and all that kind of stuff. But the Boston Celtics are favored in Miami for game 5. And that's probably with Marcus Smart playing. It might switch back to Miami. It's like I said, it's only a point right now.
Yeah, it's at 1.
But for Friday's game, I really think this is probably going to open up to a 5 or 6 point spread. And the over-under is probably at 205, 206. So
it's looking that way.
With that being said, Boston covered in Boston Monday, and I really think that they probably will again. I think Miami's going to give them a run for their money on Wednesday, but I think Boston's going to come out. I think Marcus Smart's going to sit on Wednesday. He's going to be ready to go on Friday. And I really think they'll probably cover this 6 point. I'm foreseeing another blowout kind of thing in Boston.
That's the way this series has gone.
Exactly. And I really think that if that over is anywhere over 206, 207, hit that under. And
that's unbelievable.
I know. I hate unders. I hate them. I am always rocking overs, but
not on these East
just
Coast.
With these teams. It's just these teams, Andy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both defensive minded.
They are
guard heavy.
Yep.
Play smart basketball. And it's just if they don't have to light up the scoreboard, they won't.
They don't need to. Yeah.
I mean, the Heat did a couple games ago, scoring 127.
They can score. Both of these teams can score. It's just if they're in that mood to or in that mindset. most of them are just locking in and saying, okay, I got to stop Jimmy Butler. Okay, I got to stop Jason Tatum.
Right.
And that's the mindset that they go into. Jimmy Butler's not going out there thinking, I need to score 45 points. He's out there thinking, what do I do to stop Boston?
Right.
And what do I have to do to get my teammates going?
Or if they have let's say a 7 to 10 point lead, how do I protect this 7 point lead? If he can just trade buckets, Jimmy buckets,
he's
trade
fine.
buckets, he's okay with that. He really is a smart player. And he's probably a little. I don't want to say underrated, but when you're talking about the greats, he never comes up.
No, he doesn't, and I think that's because he came up as more of a defensive player. His last years at Chicago, he really morphed into a superstar, and then he's kind of been on a wagon ever since. Stops in Minnesota, Philly, and now with the Miami Heat, which he's found a home. He is a superstar, but he doesn't get talked with the superstar.
Tier. Yeah, that second tier.
He definitely playing second fiddle to Jason Tatum in this series because Jason Tatum is a full-fledged scoring superstar.
Yeah, he just hit a couple game winners, right? That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do.
So you like the unders. I can't believe that.
I know.
And we're predicting a pretty modest line there.
Yeah.
And you like the Celtics. Celtics big.
Especially that if Miami does somehow find a way to win Game 5, this might even tighten up this line for Boston. It could come out as a 3 to 4 point line right when it comes out, but by the time this game tips, I do believe it'll get to 5 or 6, maybe even 7 points, depending on the injury report. I think Boston covers all of that.
No matter what.
No matter what.
You like Boston. They can't get too far out of line.
Especially in the Garden.
Yeah, spreading that out. So, and the Heat's a good team.
No doubt.
They're a great team, obviously.
No doubt.
They're in the conference finals here.
And they will keep Boston. They will keep Boston to the 100 to 110 range. No matter what, they will do that. It's just will Miami be able to put up the points? And it seems on the road sometimes that they can't come out like that. So
sometimes, I mean, but they're consistently getting to that century mark.
Exactly.
They are throughout the last couple series here, even against the Bucks.
No doubt.
They put up some pretty good numbers there. 116. 107 in a loss.
Yep.
So, I mean,
I'm just saying the way that this series has shaken out, it just seems that way to when they go back to Boston.
Yep. All right. So, anything else you want to sprinkle on there on this Eastern Conference?
Kind of and not kind of. I want to, kind of look forward to the NBA Finals. This is where you guys need to start. If you haven't already, start looking at those prop bets for the NBA Finals on exact results or, your MVP talk and, just your outright winner. So a couple things that I want to throw at people right now is what I believe is going to happen and what I've, kind of said since the start of this is I believe the Golden State Warriors are going to win the championship, and I believe they're going to defeat the Boston Celtics. Right now, that exact result is sitting at plus 140. So if you guys want to sprinkle a little money on there, it's still plus money while the Boston series is still up in the air. Now, Warriors just to win outright is at a minus 170 just because it looks like that is the most likely outcome. They're just rolling right now. They have a chance to sweep tonight. I think they probably get it done.
Yeah, and regardless if they sweep or not, they're still going to get rest compared to either Miami or Boston.
Exactly, and they're a team that needs the rest. Draymond's always nicked up. Curry's always nicked up. Clay's always nicked up. So the more rest they get, is the better they're going to play. So, but if you are a big Boston fan or a big believer in the Boston Celtics, them defeating the Warriors right now is going at plus 220, which I think is very good value because I do believe that they could. In my mind, I do believe that they can probably play with the Warriors and probably push this to a Game 6, maybe even a Game 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And anything can happen in Game 7, especially if it's in Boston. So,
and that's another reason Boston really needs to think about resting Marcus Smart.
Right.
They played each other twice during the regular season, and he scored 19 and 20 points in those two games. So he he plays well against Golden State, and he always brings his defense with him.
Exactly. So, that will be the biggest thing.
If Boston is going to win, they need scoring. And a big part of that, what's going to have to be a big part of that in this series, if it happens, is Marcus Smart. So
exactly.
Regardless, he's got to get right if they're going to want to have a chance in the finals against this juggernaut that's reemerged in Golden State.
No, agreed. And I don't want to leave anybody out. You Heat fans out there, you Miami Heat fans, still grasping onto that hope. The Warriors defeating the Heat in the NBA Finals at a plus 280 right now. So if you believe that the Heat can still make this out, now remember, if there goes to a Game 7, it will be in Miami. It will be in Miami, so you can't count the Heat out right now. I kind of am, just because I believe that the Boston Celtics are just a better equipped team right at this moment. I always kind of have a little love for Miami because LeBron played there, and I want them to win this series. I just don't think that they will.
Yeah.
So if you guys out there do believe that they still can, the Warriors defeating the Heat is at a plus 280, and the Heat defeating the Warriors in the NBA Finals as a plus 500. So if you are a big Jimmy Buckets guy, you are a big, Tyler Hero guy, little hero ball at plus 500, go out and get it, guys, because anything can happen in these playoffs.
I like that plus money.
Yep.
I like the plus money.
Now, another kind of thing I want to run down just real quick is NBA Finals MVP. Obviously, Steph Curry's the top dog. Sitting at a minus 105, though, I still think that's pretty good odds, because if they win, there's no doubt about it, they're going to give him it this time. They've won 3 championships. He hasn't got one yet. They gave it to Iggy and then Durant twice. So, which was, correct with the Durant. I think he should have got it when Iggy won it, obviously, Iguodala. But if you guys are sitting there thinking Boston and the Heat are going to win the NBA Finals, Jason Tatum is sitting at plus 300. And I think that's pretty good value if you guys are big believers in Boston, and Jimmy Butler's sitting there at plus 500. So,
you got to go down a little bit of a path here. You got to lead yourself down a little bit of a trail here. And so you're thinking, okay, if Boston wins, which we believe they can. Okay, so first you start there. Well, first they got to make it there. Second, they got to get to a Game 7, which we believe they can.
Exactly.
And then we were all saying anything can happen in a Game 7, which it can.
It can. I've seen it.
Those are 3.
Yeah, those are.
Those are
3 for 3.
Yeah, those are 3 ifs in a row.
Yeah.
And if all those things happen, Tatum's a really good bet to knock down, being the MVP. I do agree with that.
No doubt about it. But if you want a lock, the closest thing to a lock, Steph Curry at minus 105. I think it's probably gonna happen. Shake out that way.
There you go. That's your lock, not Tatum. If Tatum's a lock, it's one of those locks that go in, your lunchbox, your grade school lunchbox. Yeah, one of those.
One of those you can pull apart and say, who knows?
It's a lock, but I don't know.
No
All
doubt.
right. Well, I like that. Good
For
NBA
sure.
talk there. We even got into some futures, talked some finals. From both sides. We're all going Golden State here, heavy on Golden State.
Kills me to say it, but yes.
But that's what it's looking like. Pretty hardcore right now.
No doubt.
All right, so do we want to shift gears, get back into the USFL?
Well, I've been itching to talk some football, so I am all in with that, Andy.
All right, Week 7.
Yep.
Okay, and we finally, we got some storylines emerging.
No doubt.
The Stallions. We're always talking about the Stallions.
Always.
They remain undefeated, 6-0, and they're squaring off against the Pittsburgh Maulers Saturday in Birmingham, Alabama. Let me see here. It's a pretty big spread.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, 12.5. Minus 12.5. The Stallions, the hometown Stallions, the only hometown so far.
I guess the hometown is the thing in this league, I guess.
Yeah, so they're at minus 12.5. Moneyline has them at a minus 909. The book.
Yeah, that's worse than the line for Tank Davis in the boxing match.
Let me break that down for folks at home here.
Yeah,
minus 909 equates to you bet $10 to win $11.10. So you put $10 down to win $1.10.
Yeah, it's not good value, guys. You're gonna it's just not worth it.
No.
Yeah, the Stallions are rolling right now. The Stallions unleashed former Alabama running back Bo Scarborough. I guess I didn't know that he even played there because he was behind Scooby Wright and C.J. Marble. He ran against the Panthers last week for 105 rushing yards, which I thought was probably one of the best defenses in the USFL, the Panthers. Despite a substandard game from quarterback Jamar Smith, who earned the start for the Stallions, the offense still rolled with Bo Scarborough. So they're at 6-0, like we said. They're two games clear of the closest rival in the South Division, the New Orleans Breakers, and a full game ahead of their closest rival in the North Division, the New Jersey Generals. And here's the kicker. They hold wins over both teams. So they are the outright best team in the USFL by not only their record, but by putting both of these teams that are closest to them down.
They also got the tiebreakers, none of this half game stuff.
Yeah.
They're just the legit.
No doubt about it.
And that game kicks off Sunday on Fox at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep.
What do you make of this over-under, 41.5? You already mentioned the Stallions have their offense humming.
Yeah.
But we've also talked about how Pittsburgh, the Maulers, their offense kind of gets out of gear every now and then.
Yeah, it does. I am. If I'm going to bet anything on this, I will bet the over, just because I think the Stallions might put 40 on these guys
by themselves.
Okay. Yeah, the Stallions have 162 points in the whole. In the whole league, which is by far the most. And the Maulers have gave up 138 points, which is pretty close to the most. But like you said, the Maulers have only scored 76 points in 6 weeks, which is very yikes. And but no, I will ride with the over here, just because I think the Stallions will probably put up 32 to 35 points, and hoping that the Maulers can squeak out a couple field goals or something.
Just give me a touchdown.
Give you a touchdown to get to that 41. I do like the over, and I do like the line. I really like the minus 12s going for the Stallions, and I might parlay them together.
Nice. So that's a Sunday game. Do we want to shift on over, backtrack a little bit to the Saturday noon kickoff?
No doubt about it.
The New Jersey Generals, 5-1.
Yep.
Okay, pretty good.
Yeah.
Taking on Tampa Bay, the Bandits, who are at 3-3.
Yeah.
Generals a -4 point favorite here.
Yeah, for sure. I think we kind of got on Mike Riley the first week for losing. Mike Riley's Generals are riding a 5-game winning streak into their Week 7 matchup against the Gamblers.
It's neat. It's neat that we're able to rattle off 5 wins, and I just love it for the players.
We gave them ice cream after and all that kind of. No,
hip hip hooray!
Hip hip hooray!
Hip, hip, hooray!
No, the Stallions put together a 10-minute, 28-second drive to finish the Stars in Week 5. I just think they're kind of rolling right now.
They are.
And
they're 5-0.
They're kind of running some fun trick plays. They ran a scoop and score. They ran a Philly special trick play the other last week, and they had also kind of had a couple highlight reel kind of catches and stuff. So I feel like at least they're not as on paper, they're not as good as the Stallions, but it seems like they're probably having the most fun in the league.
Right.
And
that's what this league's about.
Exactly. And they're really getting people, kind of, up in the seats and, dancing around a little bit. So I really do like the New Jersey Generals and what they're doing. And I really think that they can cover this -4 of the Bandits, being a 3-3 team and not really scoring a lot of points.
Well, the money line has them at a -162. That's not terrible. So breaking it down, a $10 bet means you win $6.17. Not the worst thing out there. You might be looking at that over/under here at 41.5. And if you really believe the Generals' offense is humming like it is, the trick plays, the throwbacks, the halfback passes, they could get to that 41.5 themselves.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Andy. They definitely could. The only thing that scares me on that is that the Bandits' defense has been pretty good. If they're good at anything, they are good at defense. And the Generals really have a really good defense, only giving up 100 points in 6 weeks, which is, I think, very good. So I might stay away from that over/under. If anything that I would hit the under on this.
Okay. The defenses.
A little defensive-minded game with the Generals, picking up, a few of those trick plays to, snag out the win by, 6 or 7 points.
Yeah, now there's some film out there, and we've seen that at Nebraska with Mike Riley. Where you get a good start, and here we are 7-0,
right?
Feeling pretty good about ourselves. And that's not how it ended.
That's not how it ended. I think we won one more game after that.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that emotional damage back to me, Andy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, history repeats itself. It just has a tendency to do that.
It really does.
And now New Jersey's on this 5-0 run. Tampa Bay's coming to town, and I'll tell you what, Tampa Bay, the Bandits, they used to be coached by Steve Spurrier back in the day.
Yeah.
And that was their brand of football, doing all those crazy halfback passes, Statue of Liberty type stuff. So Bandits might be bringing something here, sitting at 3-3, wanting to get up in that upper tier here.
Like you're saying, it's like I'm not trying to discredit the Tampa Bay Bandits at all. They just came out with the power rankings, like I said, and the Stallions and the Generals are 1-2, but the Bandits are sitting at number 5 right now.
Okay.
So they are one of the better teams in this league, and their quarterback Jordan Tamamu is Hawaii product, is probably one of the best passers in the league, and he had over 300 yards and just one interception last game. So this team can do it.
Yeah.
I just think the Generals defense is a little bit better than who they played last week, and I just don't think that they're going to put up the points like they did.
Yeah, tough to argue that. I mean, we're getting football.
Yeah.
In May.
Yeah.
On a Saturday. Tough to argue, right? Tough to complain.
I love it.
And then we followed up with the Sunday game like we talked about.
Yes, sir.
With the Stallions at 6-0 and the Pittsburgh Maulers 1-5, probably going to get mauled.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, hey, take it for what it's worth, folks. We love the USFL. It just gives us a little bit more action here over the summertime, right?
Yeah. No, I love it. A lot of people are going to talk about the Michigan Panthers or whatever, kind of the Midwestern team here. This past weekend, Jeff Fisher opted to kick an extra point when he probably should have went for the 3-point conversion. I just don't know if he knew the rules as well as he should have or whatever. His decision to allow the Stallions to hold the ball with the lead instead of forcing them to play under pressure was perhaps not the best move. But you gotta look at these things and be like, okay, they can hold the ball, or I can go for a 3-point conversion and make them move the ball, and that really was the difference in the game. So the Stallions, they kind of walked out with an easier win the other, last week or whatever. But
what it could have been.
It could have been. Yeah. So I guess I understand now why the St. Louis Rams, can Jeff Fisher. So
he has a history. Yeah, this is the show where we just throw shade at coaches. And I think the USFL is a perfect place for that.
No doubt.
Who got kicked out? Where'd they go?
Yeah, the USFL. Here we go, baby.
And then you throw all these zany rules like go for 3, keep the ball.
What was he doing? Go for 3.
You gotta go for 3.
Go for 3.
Why didn't he try the onside keep it at the 15?
He should have done both. In my mind, he should have done both.
And that's what the league is for.
Every time you score, do those 2 things.
Salt away a loss to move to 1-5. Like, I don't get it, Jeff. No. Come on,
Go
Jeff.
for 3 and go for the 4th and 15 onside every single time.
His mustache still looks good, though.
He does look good. It's majestic.
He wears his hat backwards during these USFL games. I don't know if that's the cool look, but it's all right. I got a kick out of kind of a little bit of Mike Riley, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't shave anymore.
No,
it's awesome. He's just like piss on it.
I kind of wish he kind of had that, kind of attitude in, Nebraska, but.
His interview, God, just brings back all those memories. And he's like, it's just great here. The hotels across the street.
He's still very soft-spoken, for sure.
Then you walk across the street to the football stadium. What's better than that? You just go to work, and there you have it. I love it.
I mean, I get his point, but, nobody wants to hear their coach talking that soft tone and not be uppity like, most are.
How nice it is. And
exactly.
How nice everyone is.
No doubt.
Sammy Kuhn, real quick here, for the Omaha World Herald, made a mention after his first press conference. He used the word neat like 17 times.
Oh, my God.
I don't think I ever heard the word neat being ever used.
That was pretty neat.
That was neat.
Oh, we love you, Mike. We love you.
Yeah, we do. We say it in fun. Here. All right. Anything else, Jabron?
No, I mean, we covered it all. We covered boxing. We covered NBA. We covered the football league that's going on right now. So, I mean... Yeah. I feel like that was a pretty good show, Andy.
I like it. Hey, where can folks keep up with us throughout the week?
Everybody has to follow us on Twitter. We got some zany tweets out there. We got some good picks during the week, all week. Catch us on TikTok. We always put pics up on there. Some fun stuff on there. Our YouTube channel is, kind of taking off a little bit. So it's fun to, kind of put a face to the name. Jabron, I'm just not sexy over the air. I'm sexy in real life too, guys.
He's a man's man, folks. I think we're going to get this whole episode, first full episode up on YouTube, so be looking out for that.
Heck yeah, guys. Check us out.
All right, folks, this was WTL. I'm your host, signing off, Andy Klassen and
Gibran.
Later, folks. See you next week.